Joining us is the Oakland County Executive, Dave Coulter, the guy who's got the coolest backgrounds on Zoom of anybody that I know. That's a great shot of the Oakland County Executive Office building behind you, County Executive.
Thank you. I'm actually standing out in front of the building right now.
You just stop it. Listen, hey, congratulations on all that you're doing. I just want you to know that the studio that I'm in now is now open again, and your kits were very helpful. You made these business reopening startup kits available, and lots of good stuff in there. We put your kit to work here, and we reopened this building. So thank you.
I'm so happy to hear that. We made 10,000 of those kits, and now my big worry is maybe we'll need more, but we knew that it was important to get small businesses and back up and running in a way that is safe and has the supplies that they need. Each one of those kits came with like $400 worth of PPE, sanitizer and masks and things, plus social distancing guidelines. And so I'm so glad that you were able to get one. And by the way, we're providing them not only to our small businesses, but to our nonprofits and our faith-based communities, churches and synagogues and the like as well, so that everybody can be as safe as possible as we move to this new phase of reopening.
Well, we're doing a good job. More and more businesses are opening, and we continue to hear ways that you're taking federal dollars in Oakland County and making those dollars available for the rest of the community. And the latest grant program that you have available out now is targeted at nonprofits in the county. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we're going to, we know that nonprofits are struggling just as much as our small businesses. Their revenues have dried up. A lot of them had fundraisers planned and the like. And yet at the same time, the need for their services has increased. They take care of the most vulnerable people in our population and in our county, and we need to support them. So with the help of the Board of Commissioners, we put $10 million aside to help support our nonprofit organizations in Oakland County who are doing such an incredible job, from food to mental health services to homelessness to transportation, just a variety of things that they're working on. So we put aside $10 million to keep them afloat and to make up for some of the shortfall that they've gotten since their fundraising has dried up.
Is it obvious how they are able to apply for those dollars? Is it an application process, Dave?
Yeah, there's an application process. I'd encourage them, and most of them have heard about this already, but it's on our website, oakgov.com, and then you go to the COVID-19 button, and all the information is there. So, yep.
So we've been hearing good news from Northern Michigan in the past 24 hours. Over the couple of weeks that they have had their restaurants open and their retail establishments open, we've not seen a spike in Northern Michigan of COVID-19 cases. Now, their base of cases up there is very small relative to what we've had here in Oakland County, but it's good news, and it's got to make all of us down here feel better as we do see the restaurants open, that we know that we can open them and do it in a safe way and not have a negative impact on health.
Yeah, I mean, it is encouraging, and I hope that trend continues. It's something that obviously we have to watch very carefully. I was reading another article this morning, I believe it was in the Wall Street Journal, that said there's 15 states that currently posted their highest 7-day total to date. So, this virus is dangerous, and it's deceptive, and it's slippery. And just as we think we've got it under control over here, it can pop up over here. And so that's not to say that will happen up north, but boy, it sure has to be something we all keep an eye on, because even as we're reopening our economy and we're all feeling good about getting back to some kind of normal, this virus is still with us in Oakland County. It kills someone almost every day in this county. Every day, dozens of people are getting infected. So we just, I know it's tough, but we have to do both. We have to reopen, and we have to get back to life and back to get our economy rolling again. But boy, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to do it safely with the masks and the sanitizer and the 6 feet social distancing, so that we don't get that next spike.
Well, I just want to give you a report. One of the beautiful things about doing this show is we can see all the media accounts, but we have the opportunity to get out in the field and actually see things firsthand. And we just go out and we take our cameras and do that. So just a couple of observations in the field. First of all, Erica Jones, I wish I recorded this video. Erica Jones, our field reporter today, just walked into the Coney Island at Telegraph and Maple. And to date, they have the coolest booth isolation setup of anything we've seen. They got these plastic dividers on each side of the booth. And then listen to this, Steve Coulter. You ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. And then they have a shower curtain, a plastic shower curtain that you hold in front of the booth. I've dubbed it the COVID curtain here on the show. It's like, who comes up with this stuff? And I don't know if it's the best solution, but you know what it tells me? It says the folks, and I think that's a Leo's, I'm not sure, but it says the folks at that Coney Island, they're like scratching their head. They're doing everything they can to come up with the best answer possible, and they came up with a COVID curtain.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I haven't seen that, but I know where you're talking about, and I'm going to pop in there. And this is what I tell people that ask me, because all the time I get one of these two things. Man, this place is really doing a great job, and I'm really happy, and thanks for encouraging them. Or this place isn't doing a great job. Their employees aren't wearing the masks. They're not doing it like they're supposed to. And one of the things I encourage people to do, they can call our hotline and report those. But what I tell people to do is go find the manager, good or bad, and tell them, hey, if they're doing a great job like the Coney, tell them you appreciate it. Tell them that they will get your business because that that they're trying to keep you safe and you appreciate it. And vice versa. If that doesn't feel like a business that's taking all the precautions that they should, don't go post on social, whatever. Go up to the manager and say, hey, you know what? I don't feel comfortable here. I don't think you're taking all the precautions that I've been told you need to take. And I'll come back when you do those things. I think that will go a long way. That's what I mean by we're all in this together. And so share those stories with the management. But that's an awesome. That's
a good. I got another one for you, but I just want to let you know, relative to what you just said, it's hard. Even here at my business, I had a consultant on earlier said when people check in, because we got a checklist at the door. We've got the thermometer and the health checklist that everyone's been recommending. Yep. But what we got wrong is that it's on a clipboard, and the people that work here deserve the privacy of their information. So we're going to change it into like a suggestion box at the result of an earlier interview. So there is.
And Dave, let me just say on that point, we're not trying to penalize people who didn't get it perfectly right. I'm not trying to fill up the jails or write tickets to everybody who didn't exactly follow the orders to the letter. Because what I've seen is that most people are trying to do the right thing as they know it. And so we're trying to be helpful. We're trying to give them information, point out how to do it. And that's a great example of, hey, you shouldn't be punished for that. You got it right, and you're trying to do it right. And
it's Dave Coulter, County Executive. It's complicated out here, and I know you know it. And all the help that you have on the Oakland County website that we have linked from civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. All the information that you have there is amazing. Okay, one other really quick, really cool story from yesterday. Right. We were broadcasting live yesterday morning. This is in Sylvan Lake. And it's the Grill in Sylvan Lake, right on Orchard Lake Road, just a little bit west of Telegraph. And the restaurants that are opening, they have to do their social distancing now, right? So rather than take all the tables out, which is a big pain, this restaurant, the Grill, put these stuffed animals, these very intimidating stuffed animals on the tables that aren't open. Vicky there, the manager and owner there at the Grill, calls them COVID monsters. So, these business owners, these small business owners in Oakland County, I get a chance to see them. They blow me away, and I'm sure that it has the same impact on you.
It really does. I really, far and away, the vast majority of business owners are just trying to do the right thing, trying to keep their employees safe, trying to keep their customers safe, and figure out how to do it. And I love when people do it in sort of creative ways like the stuffed animals and the shower curtains. It's really warmed my heart. There's a perception that our businesses were really, clamoring to reopen early. And that wasn't my experience at all. What businesses were saying is, what's the guidelines? How do we do this? How do we do it safely so that everybody's protected? And I really appreciate him for stepping up and doing it in fun ways as well.
Absolutely. Dave Coulter, County Executive, former mayor of Ferndale. So I ask you about this trend that our downtowns and businesses are beginning to be allowed by the LCC, the local municipalities, and the state to start working towards more outdoor dining and more outdoor beverage consumption. Are you seeing that moving quickly around the county, and your thoughts?
Yeah, I do see it moving quickly. It's moved quickly even over the last few years. Patrons' preference is to sit outside when at all possible. I think it's because we have such long, harsh winters, and people just want to be outside as much as they can. And I know this hit Ferndale a few years ago, where restaurants that didn't have a lot of space got really creative about using every last square foot that they had to put some outdoor seating in there. And yeah, I think it's a good thing. Certainly helpful during the COVID situation, obviously, but I think it's a trend that you're going to see in restaurants going forward, accelerating. And I certainly encourage it, and whatever I can do to make that easier to happen, I think it's a great trend.
All right. Well, it's we got great places in Oakland County, Rochester, and Birmingham, and Royal Oak, and Ferndale. I can go on and on. All of them are perfectly suited for this kind of activity.
Yeah.
I've not talked to you since all the protests have been happening, and we've seen a lot of them very peaceful in Oakland County. We've not had any, massive problems here in our county that I can think of. But have you been impressed with the with the depth of these activities? I mean, this is not just something that came and went. There's a serious movement in our country to get the attention of law enforcement and the community at large over what's been going on.
I've been very impressed. As you said, we've had protest marches all over the county for the last 10 days or so that continue to go on. I think there was one in Clarkston last night. Imagine that. There was actually one in Howell over the weekend. And if you're as old as me, you understand Howell has a difficult history with this issue. And the fact that it's happening in places like Howell actually makes me encouraged. And I participated in a couple of them, and a couple of things that strike me. Number one, they're mostly being led by young people. And I think that's so encouraging. These young people take this very seriously. They care a lot about it, and they're passionate about it, and they're organizing. And it's what we want our young people to do. Number two, at least in Oakland County, but I think you've seen it across the country, a mix of races, and even in many cases, majority white marches, because it is Oakland County. But you're seeing people, black and white coming together with a common purpose that I think is very encouraging. And it feels like we've reached a tipping point. I'm not exactly sure why it took George Floyd versus all of the other incidents that happened. I suspect that coronavirus actually has something to do with it, because we saw in coronavirus the disparity by race and health outcomes, right? That Black people were more affected by this. And so there was already this heightened sensitivity. We know there is inequality in our healthcare system for people of color. Now we see it again in our criminal justice system. We see it in our education system. So I'm encouraged that they're peaceful, they're youth-led, and I really hope, and I want to be part of helping them lead to actual real changes that make a difference for everybody in our county.
Well, Dave Coulter, well said. Thank you very much for joining us. We will have that dialogue in another day, but the clock is going to take over right now, so we got to say so long. Thank you, though, very much for being with us. Good to see you today.
Always a pleasure to join you. Thank you.
All right, very good. He is our County Executive, Dave Coulter, joining us right here on the MegaCast.